welcome to my channel. This is HomeTeaKnits, formerly Shadows at Midnight, but I moved. So HomeTeaKnits, my name is Kaylee. My husband is called Christopher. I have a daughter called Winry, a son called Arden, and they are 6 and nearly 4. And we have a little puppy called Mopsy. He's just a ball of fluff. He just flops about all over the place.
Is it that?
Just the most relaxed dog I've ever met. That's what they are.
This one?
Go on in, back to sleep, my darling. Oh, right. I don't know if I've remembered all the introductions or not, but I don't feel very aesthetic today, so I just fancy having a chat. And I thought for this week's video, I've got some little clips that you would have seen when we went adventuring, but I just don't really want to go anywhere at the moment, and so I thought I'm just going to sit down and have a chat with you instead. So I hope you don't mind that. Normally I would include some frugal things, and I've been including treasures and stuff like that, but in this video I'm just going to have a chat with you, and then hopefully I won't have to edit it either. I just feel really low energy and I don't want to push myself at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to have a chat with you about some of the things I've made, and I was going to share like the sleeping bags we've got, but if you go on my Instagram, I think some of the stuff I'm just going to share on that, otherwise it's a bit overwhelming trying to share everything. So yeah, that might be the best bet. And hello as well, a big special hello to my Patreon members. Very nice to have you over on Patreon. It is very, very, very lovely that people have joined me on there. I've set Patreon up now because it's a way of having support, but also getting something back for the hours that I put into making videos. And it's the first time I've actually been paid. I got £16 put into my account. Yay! I was going to let it sit on Patreon, but then I thought, no, I'll put it in my savings instead. So yeah, I had £16 and some change from doing my videos because of Patreon. Because if you don't know, I spent 3 years trying to sort out my channel, and I wasn't doing it for the money, but just as it got to the point where I was earning, I couldn't get any of it, so I don't know, it felt very upsetting. So the fact that I've got Patreon now is lovely, so that's nice. But over on Patreon I put my videos up a little bit early, just as like a perk for being on Patreon, and I put some extra videos on there. Yeah, I thought in the future I could do patterns and stuff, but my brain is just wishy-washy at the moment. So yeah, I'm just going to start chatting with you about what I've made, because you know, all that life admin stuff that you're meant to chat about, I can't be bothered. I made some bunnies. So I'm holding a Spring into Scraps make along at the moment, and I'm very nearly, probably would be up by the time you see this video, but I've been working on the video and getting what everyone said down next to the pictures. It's hard because I only do it on my phone. I should get a laptop out and do it, but I don't want to. But yeah, it is really nice seeing what everybody's been making. And these are going to be the prizes. So one person will win the ears up bunny, and one person will win the ears down bunny. And these are a Sashio Ishii pattern from the Mini Knitted Woodland book. There's loads of lovely patterns in that. But I've chatted about it before, so I won't go into it again. But yeah, so they're the prizes for the Spring into Scraps make along, and some key rings that I make as well. I'll show you here. You see it? So it's my teacup from my HomeTeaKnits logo, I guess. I just drew it and created this out of shrink plastic, and then it's got a little leaf on it as well. So yeah, that you'll get one of them as a stitch marker, and also I'm going to do a polymer clay one as well. So yeah, so I've finished my bunnies now. I think before I had one of them that was earless, but now they're both done. So bunny's done. I have finished other things, like I finished an owl and stuff, but I've put that on my Vinted and I don't know where it is at the moment. I think I've put it with that pile of like Vinted stuff, you know. So yeah, but I have made an owl as well. I have also finished my budget book. So I wanted to make myself a budget book. And if anyone wants me to make one for them, let me know and I can make you one with some scrap yarn and put it on Vinted and you can buy it that way if you're interested. But they're these plastic wallets that I bought and then I've crocheted them, like crocheted a little cover and then crocheted them together and made my own budget book, because the budget books were like £10 and I didn't want to spend that much, so I've done it myself. And then I just put stickers at the bottom, but you could buy your own stickers. But I've got more plastic wallets that I don't know what to do with, so if anyone wants one, just let me know and I can make one up. But anyway, so I put my stickers here and then I wrote on them, but you can buy proper budget stickers. And so my big shop money every month can go in there, and then week one, because then I separate it into like how much for each week so we get through the month. Week one's money there, week two's money is here, we've already spent a bit of that one. Week three's money, and week four. And then I did it so we've got a days out fund, special days, this is the money I'm putting by for my son's birthday meal, and then a rainy days, Christmas and holiday. And it's just a way of keeping all my money in cash together, because we're on a debt-free journey, and so that helps me. And then I'll go down the shop and I don't overspend because I can only use the cash. So yeah, that's good. I've also been working on my socks. This is yarn from Eldon Woodcraft. Lovely Emma dyed this yarn and it's the Wiget colourway. And I got this for my birthday. And it came with, so it was a sock set. So pretty, isn't it? Yeah, and it came with this brown as well as the contrast. But I'm going to use the brown to make it frilly. I'm going to turn them into frilly socks. And I think that is a pattern that I'll try and put over onto Patreon, I think. How I do the frilly bits at the top, because then my Patreon members can let me know if it's any good or not before I put it up as like a purchasable thing or whatever. But yeah, so it looks really different there to how it does here. It looks really high contrast. There you go. Can you see it a bit better? Okay, did you see it better? But yeah, that's how far I've got, and then I need to turn and work the heel. So I've got a little bit more. I probably could start after maybe a centimetre or so, start the toe, and then I cut the yarn and do the afterthought heel. I don't know if it's definitely an afterthought heel, but I watched an Arnie and Carlos tutorial on how to do it, and I've just done it like that ever since, because then I can just knit a tube, and I knit for my mental health and because it's calming and stuff like that. And so when I don't have to think about socks, I don't knit to make pretty socks. I knit these socks because I want to knit, you know. I have knitted socks because they're pretty, but with these I have them on these very small 20 centimetre needles. I think they're 2.5, 20 centimetres, but I can just knit on them and it's so little. Nobody knows. So when I'm sitting, like if I have to get on a any public transport, or like when you're in the hospital and you're waiting on appointments, or in the dentist, I can just sit and I look kind of normal unless you can see what my hands are doing. And so that's why I love these, and I always have to have a pair on the go. So there my birthday socks I'm working on. And then I did start as well a pair for Ella. I'm going to send a pair to Ella from No Catchy Name. And I had to pause these a bit because I lost one of the yarns that I was using, which was stressing me out because I was thinking, oh no, like, do I just undo it and just change that colour? I'll explain. So can you see here this purple? Let me turn you around, hold on. Ah, you can see better now. I lost that purple. This is off of a pattern. I'll try and put it in the description if you're interested, or ask me in the comments. If you're interested, ask me in the comments and then I'll go and try and find the pattern. But this colour work was actually from a cowl, a free cowl pattern on a cowl, C-O-W-L, on Ravelry, and I just took that bit out and edited it a little bit to make it pumpkins. But yeah, I lost that purple. So Ella loves Halloween, and so I was making her some Halloween socks. I got this yarn from Steampunk Sheep Yarns, I think it was. I can't remember what it was called now. I don't know if I've got it. I don't suppose it matters, does it? Oh, I've got it. Wicked Pumpkin. I have to hide these because my son likes cutting them up and ripping them up. He really likes ripping stuff. So yeah, Wicked Pumpkin from Steampunk Sheep Yarns. Brilliant place to buy yarns if you've got someone that's kind of like dark and like Halloweeny but dark. Like my husband likes dark things, and so that is just a perfect place for me to buy his yarn. But yeah, so these are for Ella, and I've put the Halloween cuff in, and then I think I'm about ready to do the toe. So yeah, Ella's feet are only a tiny bit bigger than mine, so I need to measure how many centimeters bigger. But yeah, I think I'm about ready to do the toe on them, and then it's just working out where the heel goes. Yeah, that looks, I think I just worked the toe on that. But yeah, I couldn't find that purple yarn. I had tidied up and not put this in my Gigi bag. So this is Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service. She is it's a Studio Ghibli film, so it's all hand-drawn anime. It's beautiful. It's a really lovely coming-of-age kind of story about a girl finding her place in the world, and she's not very good at witchy things, but she can kind of fly well, so she starts up a delivery service after helping a lady with a baby. It's a really, really sweet film, and how when you lose your magic, suddenly everything is different, and it's a really nice film, and I love Gigi from it. And so this is my Gigi bag. We got this off of eBay years ago. I love my Gigi bag, but I thought, well, black cats and Halloween socks, that has to be a thing, doesn't it? I've got loads of the yarn left as well, which is exciting. Yeah, I have plans for all of my leftover yarn now, which is nice. I'm gonna talk to you about some of the things I was doing with my leftover yarn, but I'm more excited about this new idea that I've got. I think it's something I'll wear a lot. And the beautiful orange, if you're interested. So the purple is Drops Fable. So that's just the purple Drops Fable from Wool Warehouse. And this beautiful orange is Attic Spindai. And I can't explain to you how gorgeous it is. There's another one in here as well that I keep just admiring. This was from the Wind in the Willows subscription set, and this was another one, and they're so bright. I'm going to spin you around again because they are just so beautiful, but they're solid, but kind of not. I wouldn't say they're semi-solid. I don't know whether that's the right word, but I wouldn't say that because they're just so rich. Yeah, they're just beautifully rich colours. I'm working, I'll show you in a moment, but I'm working on a project with some of their other yarn, and it's like this one is their purple, and it's just got so many, can you see? There's just so much attention that's gone into making it so beautiful. And I would say it's just a joy to work with their yarn. Lots of hand-dyed yarns are beautiful and soft. Like this yarn, this is really nice to work with, but it's not as soft as the Attic spin dye yarn. I don't know where they're buying their supplies from, but they've got the good stuff. I'm a little bit biased because they're really kind to me, but also I don't tell lies about yarn, and it's really nice yarn, really nice yarn. It feels not luxurious. I don't know, does it feel luxurious? It just feels really well made, and it feels like it's made with love. So it doesn't feel luxurious in the overindulgent kind of way. It just feels beautiful to work with. It's a real joy to work with their yarn. Oh, I showed that, didn't I? Okay, what else am I showing you? So I showed you Ella's socks, and then frilly socks. So this is what I mean when I say I'm going to do frilly socks. These are the ones that I've worked up for myself, and the frill on these is just with cotton yarn because I was just trying it. I'm really pleased with how they look, but I want to try it with normal yarn. So yeah, and then if I manage it, then I will make it a tutorial type thing. But these are finished. This is yarn from Little Lycax Yarn, and it was gifted to me, and I'm enjoying learning about new dyers, because before Angela and Andy from Attic Spin Dye got in touch, I had just been solely using my acrylic for the past few years. Before I had children, I'd bought hand-dyed yarn, and I had bought hand-dyed yarn since having the children. I'd had Advent that my mum had bought me from Coastal Creatives, I think that's the name. But I just hadn't been getting it. I just couldn't warrant spending money on myself and stuff like that. And I love acrylic yarn. I do. It's not, I know some people think, oh, like it's second best. No, I love acrylic yarn. I think it's brilliant. But I had kind of lost touch with the indie dyed community, and I'd kind of stepped back from it. So I'd only bought, like, I have some yarn here. When we went to Cornwall, I picked up some yarn because I like yarn as making memories, and I'd got some from Rochester from Store 104 at Christmas, not last Christmas, the year before, because I'd gone there with my mum, and then I wanted to remember that day, so I bought some of the hand-dyed yarn. But other than just going into shops and getting it, I was just out of touch with the community of hand dyers, and so I had no idea about people like Little Lycax Yarn until I was gifted it. So my lovely friend Sharon gifted me this yarn. I'm going to spin the camera around, and sorry I'm a bit shaky, but Chris says this reminds him of a watercolour, and it does me. I definitely think it's like watercolour yarn. It's really nice. So they just need the heels and the ends woven in. See, this is one of my polymer clay charms. Don't know if I've got any cake left up there, but if I have, I'll include one of them. If not, I'll make you a fresh set of stitch markers, because I need to start getting my bits into folksy. I'm going to open up a folksy. I've signed up for it, but I haven't got anything in there. Sadly, my nan passed away just as I was... First of all, I had that problem with my channel, and then my nan passed away, and so I've like... it's been a lot, because it was... my nanny wasn't ill, so it was one of them sudden ones. What else have I got over here? Not that one. Oh, I did get something out to show you, and then I'll move you on to my scrappy projects, because obviously if you're doing the spring into scraps mail, then it has to be a scrappy project. But if you're interested, there's a video on my channel about that. I wanted to show you one of my project bags that I made for myself. So when I start making project bags, you can kind of get an idea of the types of things I like to do. This one I made just for me because of what I was watching on the telly. I made this years ago. But I like scrappy things just out of necessity, and I just like them anyway. I like the 1940s and 50s make, do and mend. I like being like eco-sustainable, and I like making things last. I'm a bit of a womble, self-proclaimed womble. There's my knitting mate there. I've woke him up, that's why he's so startled. There, look, he's back to sleep. That's Orinoco. But yeah, so self-proclaimed womble, and I like making things out of scraps. And so this is the project bag I made for myself anyway. So I just used plain like calico, but I was watching Stranger Things at the time because it is very well made. I love, when I watch telly, I love all the backgroundy stuff. I love the clothes they're wearing. I love the detail into like if there's any special effects. I like it when they're handmade rather than computerized, and I like when they're set in different times, and I really appreciate how much effort goes into the backgrounds and stuff of it all. So I loved Stranger Things, and I made myself a Stranger Things bag. And so I bought this pin off of Etsy, which is just a laser cut pin, and then I made myself the bag. So we've got the pink ribbon, and then this is all cutaway applique. And so I've done that on my sewing machine. Can do like freehand stitching on my sewing machine, and then I've cut it away and I've put the red underneath because it's like static. I was trying to make like the static effect, and so I've left all the scrappy bits on it. I love that. So yeah, that's one of the bags I made for myself. And I'll show you what's inside there because I've not finished it. And I got it out and I thought, I knew I hadn't finished, but I couldn't remember why. So this was a pair of mittens that I designed for my husband. Oh, you're probably not going to be able to see them at all. Let me try. You can kind of see the colours, can't you? And then it's all here as well, different colours. Kind of see. I've placed, because it's all my own colour work, all my own design, all my own colour work, but I've placed it wrong, and so this here is not centred. It needs to come around here more. So when you wear it, my husband won't care, but it bothers me. When you wear it, the picture is not centred. Can you see? The picture is here. It needs to be here. So the picture should be here, and then this side piece, this should be round here more. So that's why I've not done it. But it's a church window effect from my husband. And I think I slow down a lot. I'm starting to realise why projects kind of end up in the long lost section of my brain. And it's because if I'm making something and I know someone's going to love it, I really want to spur myself on and make it. But if I make it and I know that they'll love it, but they probably won't use it, then I tend to not put much effort in and I kind of give up on it, you know? And that's the thing. I've made my husband some Zelda mitts, which are just amazing gauntlets. If you know, like, Link from Zelda, he wears the gauntlets. I've knitted them, and it's an amazing pattern that I got off of Ravelry. But my husband never wears them, and so, and like with these, he's always at work. He works 6 days a week, like 6 full days a week. So he wouldn't be at home to wear them, and so I think it's put me off making them. So I don't know. He likes hats, so maybe I just won't use that yarn for mitts, and maybe I'll just make hats for him instead. But I wanted to show you that project bag because I love it. I've got another project bag here that I've made. I could show you actually. Oh, I've got two. So there's another one that I made. That's just a normal drawstring bag. And it's really pretty on the inside. But like do and mend different ribbon pulls because didn't have matching ones. these are just what I make for myself. I love that one. It's got fluff on it. This one's just got yarn and Christmas bells inside it. And then I've got one more down here that I've made. And this is more like what I will make. I think there might be some like bags like that one that I've just showed you that are just material, but most of them will be this kind of thing. So it's got my pin badges on it. This one I use all the time. Some velvet, and then this was a tablecloth. I made this about 8 years ago maybe. Yeah, this was a vintage tablecloth I turned into a bag, and then I did some like special stitching at the top. Wibbly wobbly stitching. That's the other thing, when I make stuff it will be wibbly wobbly. I don't try to be perfect. It's too much energy. I don't know how people manage it. Right, so I cast on some new socks anyway. And I just cast on, like I say, with them 20 centimetres needles. I think they're 2.5s. Oh, actually, I have here. Yes, they are 2.5. So they're Addy. I am an Addy girl. I definitely don't like Knit Pro needles. No. And I'm not going to be swayed on them anymore. I watch people talk about them and I kept thinking, oh, that's good. I remember when I got my first pair, because they're quite expensive. I remember thinking, oh, and they're a low-end high brand. I know that, but anyway, I remember thinking, oh, finally, I was really excited. And within less than a month of me using them, the silver had started to come off on my needles, and the bronze bit, like the brassy bit, had started to show through. And within 2 months, it just made my hands stink. I am not a Knit Pro girl, and I've had the beautiful like kaleidoscope colour wood ones. I've had them as well, and they're lovely, but they snapped. I'm an Addy girl. I don't have problems with Addy. Also, on my Knit Pro needles, the cable kept coming out. I haven't had that with Addy. I'm not being swayed. I'm staying with Addy. Right, this yarn I got for my Christmas present from my mum. I found this on Amazon, and I sent it to Mum, and that's it, because she says, like, is there anything that you would like? And so I said, I've not tried this yarn, I'd love to try it. There's their socials on the back as well. So I'd never heard of them before. Made in Turkey. Sorry, I was reading all of that writing there that I didn't know the words for, because it says produced by HomeTeaKnits, and I was like, what kind of word is that? But apparently Turkey. Anyway, I don't read Turkish. This is the yarn. It's really nice. It's kind of, I'll just spin you around, but it is pretty similar to what you're seeing. Oh, it does look prettier when I do it this way, doesn't it? Sorry, I'm a bit shaky. It's because my anxiety is really high at the moment. I'm at that point where, like, I don't know how much I talk about it on here, because sometimes I talk about it and then I delete what I've filmed, so I don't know what I've shown and what I've not shown. But my anxiety can get to the point where I can't go outside, which is just infuriating. So yeah, it turns into agoraphobia, which isn't a fear of big spaces. People think agoraphobia is a fear of big spaces, and it's not. It's kind of a fear of not being able to get back to your safe place. And so when that's really high for me, I can't leave because I don't know what my brain processes, but it's like I just can't leave the house. Sometimes I can't even get out into the back garden, which is very annoying when I've got a shed out there that's got a freezer in. I need to get stuff from the freezer and I can't get past the back door. So frustrating. So I'm having a couple of days in so that I don't get to that point, because I could walk out right now, which is good. But I don't want to get really, really bad. But yeah, my anxiety is pretty high at the moment. It's the sudden loss thing that's triggered it. it's a recurring factor with people in my life. So these are the socks I've started though, because all my other socks have got to the point where I can't just pick them up and work on them. They need some kind of tending, like they need heels or something, or toes, as you've seen. And so yeah, I needed a new pair, so I picked that yarn up, this yarn, and I've started my socks. Hello Winry. I've just started the cuff, so I cast on 56 stitches for me, and I will work the cuff and then knit them plain. The bouncing is Winry, she's very bouncy. You alright?
I'd like you to tell me how to spell Gabby, because I'd like to find a Gabby game on my tablet.
Oh, you want to find a Gabby game? You could spell it, sound it out. So what sound?
G,
Mhm.
A,
Mhm.
B.
Yeah, 2 buzz though.
Mm.
Yeah, and then
E, yeah.
without the E. So g a b b yeah. G a b b yeah.
Yeah, yeah, E.
I've got tablets. I've not had tablets before, so this is like a real treat. They're quite happy playing. They just love building stuff on them. We've deleted, they can't watch any videos. They're kind of just got, they can download games that if they check with us. Loads of, you can set it because it's with Amazon. So you can set it so that they can't access anything beyond their age level. But we've also taken the internet off, and we've taken all the video streaming stuff off. And so it is just kind of puzzle games. I love it. Mainly CBeebies. But yeah, so they're the socks I've started, and these live in my bag. So when I'm out and about, these are what I'm working on. I might sit here though this afternoon and just finish that cuff, because then they're just, I can pick up and go ones. The other thing I've been working on is this, and this is going to be my Hexi granny cardie. I keep just calling it a granny cardie or granny square cardie, but yeah, this is my Hexi granny. So just, if you just look up how to knit, how to crochet a Hexi granny square, then you can make these. You just need 2 of them, and you can turn it into a cardie. Because you just fold it, and then it becomes one side of a cardie.
Excuse me, can you please?
So when you hold both of them together, you can see that turns into a cardie. Isn't it looking cute already? I'm not going to reach anymore. I'm running out of energy. I'm so low energy today. I'll put a clip in of me filming the colours and that after I finish talking, so you can see. But it's just gorgeous, and this is what I want to do with all my scraps. I spoke about the yarns and that in a previous video, but it is just gorgeous. This is a scrapbook I was given for my birthday. My friend Sharon, my online friend, yarny friend Sharon, sent me a bag full of scrapbooks. These are the ones I've got left. I've used a few of them, and I've teamed them up. Like I said, I went into more detail in a different video, but I've teamed them up with the yarn that I chose at the Falmouth, I don't know what it is. There's a yarn shop in Falmouth, and the ladies on YouTube as well. But this is, I know this one's Turkish Delight. I can't remember what this one is now. I can't remember. You'd have to go back to a different video to find out if you're interested. But they're beautiful yarns. And then I'm holding them alongside my Attic Spin Dye, Pink Bear and Jemima. And then, like I say, I'm mixing in my scrap balls with it. And it's just coming up gorgeous. This is the Pink Bear and this is the Jemima. And then that's the Turkish Delight, you can see there. Oh, it's so gorgeous. I'm really, really enjoying working on them. And I plan on using my scraps to make more of these, because it's just a really nice way of using scraps up. I think blankets are lovely, but you only need so many, don't you? whereas cardigans you could have different colours. So I'm excited about that pumpkin yarn when that's ready for me to use, because I can start making like a darker coloured one for that side of autumn season. So that's nice. I'll go through my scraps and use some like autumny ones, because I have got the projects that I was using my scraps, I've got them out, and you would have seen them before. They're the Cozy Memories one. I've got my one over here. I'll show you that one first. And that's what everyone was making when I first joined the knitting community, and so I started making them. But it annoys me that they all come out different sizes. Look how small that square is compared to like one down here. And I know that's partly my tension, but it's also partly because that yarn's a lot thinner than other yarn. And can you see the size difference? And I can go up a needle, but then they're kind of really gappy. I don't know, it's a scrappy one, so I don't care. But I'm not going to purposely, intentionally make this to make something beautiful if it's going to be really haphazard, which is that's how it feels. This is one of my favourite yarns, and for the life of me I can't remember what it was. I remember this one. This yarn came with this zombie stitch marker and that's in your eyeballs hanging out, and that was my Mama Knits. She does good yarn. That's the first indie dyer I bought from, was my Mama Knits. And also something that I'll be selling once I get my folksy up is my Soot Sprite stitch markers. So if you like Studio Ghibli stuff, then we can be friends, because I love it. And everyone needs a Soot Sprite for their knitting, don't they? And I love making them, so I do plan on making some more of them and setting it up. I'm really good at making the stuff, but it's the admin of putting it on and sitting and filling out these huge forms every time you upload stuff. It puts me right off. But once I've got my head around it, then I'll be all right, won't I? It's just the getting going with it that's inconvenient. So that's how I was using the scraps. I've got my husband's one here. I'm trying to square his one off. I had more scraps for him because I knitted him more socks than me. And so most of my yarn is kind of dark coloured yarn. But this is his one. That bright one at the bottom, that's a My Mama Knits yarn. This is the first yarn I ever used. On our wedding day I gifted him some socks made from this yarn. Oh no, it wasn't on my wedding day, that one. Oh no. Okay, so this is the yarn I used to make him his first pair of socks, and then that was practice, so that on our wedding day I had some other yarn. It was like a greeny colour, and it said, so to stop you getting cold feet, and so I'd knit him socks. Not that he would have got cold feet. This was the first yarn I ever used for my socks, and I think that's the Opal Sweet and Spicy colourway. This is a drops yarn. This is a hand-dyed yarn. This is another Opal. This is an Opal. They're the rainforest colourways. This is like the tree frog one. This is a yarn I dyed myself. This is a yarn that we had made. No, this is the yarn I bought, actually. I can't remember who I bought it from, but I know that was called Lastly Ghastly. This is another Opal yarn. That was hand dyed. It is nice looking through them. I call these his Quality Street socks, these ones. I made some like that for my dad. This might be the yarn I use for my dad, and there's a very similar colourway that I've used for Chris. But it's not very hard wearing yarn. But yeah, I've just picked up this green, I don't think that's drops. I don't know what yarn. Might be Signet yarn, that one, that green. But yeah, so I'm just kind of trying to square it off. Well, what am I attached to? There we go. Because he's is 5 by 4, so I just want to finish that top row because I don't think I want to make it huge. So I just thought for now I'll square it off and then I'll see what I want to do with it. He loves it. This is the only thing that makes me want to work on it. He really, really wants it. But I don't really enjoy knitting on it, but maybe I will once I'm into it a bit more. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do, but I kind of want to use all my scraps now to make cardigans. I don't know, he does really want it, so I'll have a tendency of just doing what he likes. You see, if I know he wants it, then I'm inclined to work on it because I enjoy it, and then he gets like excited picking the yarns out for it and stuff like that. But when he goes off things, and then I'm like, oh, well, there's no point in bothering with that, then I'll go and do something else. But this is another bag I've made. I have some more of this fabric, I think, so when I make some bags, they will be made of this. And my bags when I make them are going to be made of like old clothing and stuff like that, and I'll explain to you what different parts of the bag is from, and whether it's my children's clothing or mine, and they're all going to be washed clean. Some people get really fussy about it, but it's just fabric. Once it's had a nice steam wash in my washing machine, then it's perfectly fine. But yeah, this fabric's lovely. Kind of looks like an ink spill, and it's almost like denim-y. It's not denim, but it's almost as like denim. It's a very, very thick. It's not canvas. Very thick cotton it must be. It's definitely like an upholstery type of fabric. And then it's got jeans at the bottom, so the base of this is just made from an old pair of jeans. And that's what I mean. But look, it doesn't match up. So if you ever order some bags from me, they're going to be a little bit wonky. And then I've just got plain stuff for the inside. But when I make bags, I'll explain to you when I've made them. And I want to make zipper pulls from all as well. I love making zipper pulls. So this one is just a rose I made out of polymer. But yeah, this is just for me. I was just having fun for me. But I love that it's got the big strap, so you can just grab it. I don't know how the bags will turn out when I make them to sell. Turn out with whatever I've got and however I feel inspired, I guess. It's kind of how things go. But it's absolutely full of yarn. Doubt I'll be able to show you without it all spilling out. Yeah, you can't really see it. It's full. There's loads of yarn in there. All different scraps, all different sizes. Like that's your eyeballs falling out yarn. So some of them are like that big. Some of them are teeny tiny. This would work well as like a autumny, Halloweeny, spooky, dark kind of cardie, wouldn't it, that one? Definitely want to make more cardies. I will say that it takes forever though. If you want to make a cardie like this one, with the 4-ply yarn, I'm using a 3mm needle, so I'm working small, and it will take forever. It will just take forever and ever and ever. So don't go into it trying to get yourself a cardigan for a certain date. Just go into it enjoying working with yarn and doing something calming, and then you'll have a cardigan in no time. But if you go into it with the intent that you want it to get bigger quick, you know, like with all this, like fast fashion seems to have entered the like knitting community, hasn't it? And I think like knitting and crochet, it's a slow craft. It's slow fashion, and I think fast fashion's kind of entered into it, and it's like, how much can you churn out in a week? And I know I'm terrible, because if someone wants me to churn things out quickly, I just go there, and then I don't. I have a tendency to just stop working on it. But if you want to make them quicker, you can, like I'm making one for my friend, and that's worked up really quick. I held 2 DK yarns double, and I used a really big hook. What size is this hook? 8. So I used an 8mm hook and held the yarns, 2 DK yarns double, and that's coming up big. That was in a previous video. I was waiting for the yarn to come through because she had to order some more yarn for me, but then my nanny passed, so it took a while for me to see my mum because we were just doing lots of different things. And so I've got the yarn for that now, so I can start working on that again, which is good because my hands are just starting to get a bit too tired of working with 4-ply, so I can just jump over onto that bigger yarn. But yeah, I've got other projects on the go. I've always got lots of different things on the go, but they're just the ones I'm working on. And I don't feel guilty for having lots of things on the go. At one point I did, and I thought, oh, what's wrong with me? And then I thought, what a silly thing to think. Nothing wrong with me. I work on what makes me happy. I'm not a machine. I'm not creating things. I don't know, I'm just making them because I want to make them. So don't matter how many I've got on the go. If I don't finish something, I just unwind it and start using that for something else. It's not a waste, is it? As long as you're happy with what you're making, that's what matters, doesn't it? I've got all sorts on them. Look, it's a half finished owl down here. Just need some eyes on. I make them owls and fill them with my scraps. And I've got my massive owl in here. Is she in there? No, she's gone. She's been stolen. If you want to make a Hexi cardie though with 4-ply yarn, we'll say this. I've said this before. If you want to make it with Hexi yarn and you can't afford hand dyed, and you want to use just like not acrylic yarn, you'd like woolen it or whatever, buy it in a cone. People are selling cones of 4-ply. Make sure that you know what is in it. Like this is a merino cashmere, so I knew I was buying a cashmerino cone, and that's what this is, and it washes like that as well. This is, I bought this off of eBay, and I don't know what the seller is. I know that they always have like star and then the word bubs with like BUBZ and then another like star in some of the pictures. I haven't been on eBay in ages, so, but I know that people sell it on Vinted as well. As long as you're not buying the acrylic, you can get cones that are acrylic, so you need to know what the yarn is. But yeah, if you want to have proper yarn and a luxurious yarn like this one, so much cheaper to buy it in a cone. This has made loads of different things and it's still going. I've put this in shawls, I made my children's jumpers out of it. I've added this to projects for me and projects when I've gifted them, and it's still going. It's brilliant. So yeah, that's a way that you could do it cheaper. If you want to make one for yourself and you can't fork out, because your hand dyed yarn is expensive, isn't it? I've only got a lot because I've been collecting, and then I was very, very luckily gifted some by Attic Spin Dye, which is just lovely. I always ask for it for my birthday and stuff like that. Sorry, it's because I've only just bought some yarn for my birthday, haven't I? That was money that my nanny gave me. I haven't got it there. But I'll have to work that up into a special cardigan, won't I? Whew, anyway. I don't think there's anything else to show you. That's just what I'm working on at the moment. So hopefully when I see you again, I'll have some heels in socks and stuff like that. Isn't it quiet when they're on their tablets? They're really, really just engrossed in the things they're making and stuff on there. I've been against them for so long, and I don't think anyone under 4 years old needs them, honestly. But that's my opinion. You might have a child that does need them. I don't know. For me, with my children, they didn't need them. But now Arden's nearly 4, and it's my job to let them understand like technology and stuff like that. And so they've got all these other skills. Like they both can knit, they both can sew, they both love painting. Like I feel like they've had a taste of everything else, and so now it's okay to show them tech. And the only reason I'm like that is because I know how addictive tech is. It's designed to be addictive. and they've picked it up so quickly. So 4 years when all the other kids were using it and they weren't, I used to worry maybe I'm like setting them back, and then I used to think, no, it's made to be user friendly, isn't it? And yeah, they've had no problem picking it up. There's a couple of times when we've had to help and stuff, but they just love all the games, and they bake pies and do hair cutting games. It's one of their favourite games at the moment, is this hair cutting game. And they have like a shampoo that makes the hair grow, and it's a cartoon character, and then after the hair's grown you can like brush it and move it about, but they just keep buzz cutting it. And then they'll show you, and this poor girl's got like one bit of hair like this, and then the rest of the hair is like buzz cut. They just love it. They've got like dress up games, and you can, you know, like the paper piecing dolls, where you used to get the pieces like the dresses, and then you'd fold the little bits over, wouldn't you, to the little doll and dress her up. They've got that, but in obviously a tablet form, and it just lets my house have a few moments where stuff isn't being tipped out. It got a bit crazy before I got them. Like my floor was just gone all the time, and I was getting really overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that they would just pull out all the time. I have a lot of stuff because I'm homeschooling, and I've got a lot of things in this room. They don't have anything in their bedroom, and so it's all down here. And it was just all coming out in one go, you know. And no matter how much I tried to stop it, as soon as I went off to like put the washing on or something, loads, like the whole floor would just be covered again. And so I was in this cyclone of tidying up all the time, and it was awful. And so these tablets came on offer on Argos, and we're going to be paying them straight off, but they went on offer, and so we got 2 tablets for the price of 1, which was amazing. And we bought them a Bluey game. They've got the Nintendo Switch console things as well. We bought them first. I don't know when we got them, but I know that we got like £200 off of them as well whenever we bought them. But they don't really use them. This is why I don't know. But they did the Easter egg hunt on Animal Crossing on them. But they're not addicted to them. Like, they need our help. It's something as a family, like if I was poorly, we could sit down and I could do it with them, and they'd sit, and it was just a like something that we'd do once or twice a month or something like that. But we bought them a Bluey game for that, and the Bluey game is a lot easier for them to do by themselves, so they've played that a bit, and that's where you just run around and find clues and stuff. So that was nice that they had that. But I wanted them to have like these because I wanted it to build their learning and stuff. They do spelling games and all sorts of things on them, and they have been good, and it's given me a bit of brain space. And then the day or 2 after we got them, Nanny passed away, so it came just at the right time, because then when I was kind of not okay at all and dealing with all of that, they had them, and so that they were just happy playing their games and showing me baby unicorns that they're looking after and all this stuff, and it was all right. Right, I do just ramble and ramble for ages. Mum called me up last night because she's on holiday at the moment, and I think we chatted for about 3 hours. I like having a chat. You right, Mopsy? Come here. She keeps fussing because we've been decorating for VE Day, so all the flags are up at the moment because we've had VE Day this month, haven't we? And the flags move, and you're not sure about them moving, are you? She has perimeter settings on at the moment, so anything within a certain boundary line sets off her perimeter alarm, doesn't it? She's a funny dog. Mopsy, look, you look over here. Show everybody your beautiful face, Mops. Not at all. She is a beautiful girl. Oh, she's going to go to the groomer again soon. Not long. I think you've got like a week. And we'll be able to see your eyes again. She just wants to go to sleep all the time. She's just the most relaxed dog. I had border collies before. I know I've said it, but border collies are barely ever relaxed. They're on high alert all the time, and this one, she's going back to bed. What you like? Alright, shall we say goodbye? And I'll include clips, like I said, of that really beautiful Hexi granny. If you are joining in with the scrap along, no one's probably here listening anymore, but if you are, make sure you email me your photos, and with permission for me to use them, and then I can put them all together. But yeah, I've got an April roundup video, and then I need to do a May roundup video. See you later, everyone. Bye.
I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our 2 wet ones. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine. I just wanna see the same